One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on to his ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he paves his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Yeah, man. What's good with everyone, man? Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful, fantastic hump day, beginning to their hump day, man. Hopefully everyone's doing fantastic out there, man. Much love, honor, respect to all of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to go ahead and get over and discuss, as a lot of you in the chat are already active, man. I see you guys. I see Mr. says Trump signed an executive order to prove for proof of citizenship to vote. That is correct. That did happen, and basically it'll be voter ID. There was a few things that happened, a few executive orders that were signed last night, but yes, that is one of them. But good morning to all of you freaking legends up in here. Make sure you guys hit the like Naomi says. It very much helps out the show. But listen, all right, so we got a lot to discuss. We got President Trump to deliver remarks today. I'm not exactly sure of exactly what time. We're going to find out together, as well as Vance is to speak to the Marines as well. And we have a White House briefing today. Now, all of these things are happening today, but I don't know if they're actually happening on this actual live stream. I'm not sure. We're going to find out together, but at least everyone knows what's going on. There's a lot of media coverage, a lot of stuff to discuss. But before we get into the world's madness, make sure you guys hit that like button. It's the #1 metric of all of YouTube. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so, by the way. If you guys are new to the show, hit that subscribe button because it's also free, by the way. Please consider becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not going to be breaking no bank out here. But listen, this is exactly how we continue to do this show right here without having to cater to views, doing some radical bullshit just to go ahead and try to get paid off of views, right? So we don't do that here, and you guys allow that to happen. So literally, you guys are the whole reason why we are able to do what we do, and we're not catering to popular authority, right? Anyways, also follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV. We'll post everything behind the scenes of not only my lifestyle, but of the show, as well as Millennial Food Time. It's better than my phone number most of the time anyways. Also, Naomi is putting in the chat the Discord link periodically. Make sure you guys join up in there. The majority of the Breakfast Club has joined in, and we all get to be able to hang out in there and chat. I have definitely become extremely active in there. I'm still even going to get more active as time goes on. But yes, I am definitely in there all the time now. Also, a little side note, of course, every super chat, super sticker, gifted membership sign up, all of those things are, of course, going to be displayed onto the show and shouted out. But listen, if you guys would like to help out monetarily and skip that brutal YouTube 30% cut, we have these platforms scrolling at the bottom right here. And of course, I'm going to allow it to, for the remainder of the show, scroll. But I will shout you and your message out on those platforms. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how is everyone doing on a freaking Wednesday, a hump day morning, man? We got Kitty up in here. Good to see you, as well as Altered State of Chaos, my man, Hardwire as well. We got Brother Slim, as well as Carney's Ride. Thank you so much for smashing that like button. Shit. We got brother Frank. Good to see my man, as well as Rabbit of Chaos, man. Always stoked. We got Mount High as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let's see here. We got brother Gary. We got Naomi in here. We got Mr. Shout out to all you legends, man. Todd J, my man. Thank you so much for being here and your positivity as always. It's greatly appreciated. We have allegedly saying, hey there, Mike and chat. Can't stay. Going to an admin meeting. I'll catch a replay. Just stopped in to say hi. Hit the like button and show support. Be kind to yourself today. I definitely approve of this message. Allegedly, good morning to you. Hopefully you have a great meeting over there. Hopefully you don't overwork yourself, you know. But always appreciate you stopping by and showing a little love to the channel. Definitely, because we can't do it without you guys, man. All right. We're getting through. We're saying hi to everyone real quick, and then we're gonna get into the craziness as always. We got Mr. Lee Lance, my man. Good to see you, brother. Hopefully all is well. This is an indication the Trump administration knows we are who are the bad guys in the government. Yes. Yeah. Even if a federal judge blocks his executive order, it's a good sign they are doing this. Now, I agree, Mr. I was going to say Mr. Yes, sir. We got brother Steve Easy as well. Good morning, hooligans. Kind sir. Hopefully you're doing fine and dandy. All right, let's go ahead and get into the wildness of today. We got a lot. Well, we actually don't have a lot of breaking news. I kind of, as you guys know, what I like to do is I kind of go through beforehand. I see what kind of stories we're talking about, but I don't listen to them. I just see the headlines and then I move on, basically. So we don't have a lot of breaking news. We have like 2 or 3 breaking news stories, but we do have a lot of updates to things that we have discussed in the past. So let's go ahead and start this one off.
Good morning, and thank you so much for waking up with us here on Live Now from Fox. It's Wednesday morning, March 26th. I'm Jeanne Francine here with you for the next few hours to give you all of your breaking news alerts, top stories, and of course, your live events of the day on this Wednesday.
Yo, Miss Lotus over there in Florida as well. Good morning to you. Happy hump day.
Morning, following some tragic breaking news, which takes us out to South Korea. I want you to take a good look at your screen.
Yeah, South Korea is under some serious flames right now. And I forget, I'm trying to remember just off of headlines. I think there was 23 unfortunate deaths in this. But we'll see. We'll have the exact number in a second.
We're getting this live image from
24 people, at least 24 people they write.
South Korea, courtesy of our content partners over at Reuters. They say we're getting a live look at a site where a firefighting helicopter.
Hey, shout out to my man Ron right there. He's all the way down under in Australia. Good to see you, man. It's got to be like 3:10 in the morning for you, man.
Crashed while extinguishing deadly wildfires in South Korea, and that is
what's up,
our
Wes?
Breaking news headline. I want to show you all some of the latest video that we're getting from our content partners on this Wednesday morning. As you look at the devastation unfold, I want to read to you the very latest from the Associated Press. They say wind-driven wildfires that were among South Korea's worst ever were ravaging the country's southern regions at this time, killing at least 24 people, destroying.
Hey, man, Steve, real quick, just want to say this. I know it sounds lame that it's like, oh, another 5 more weeks until I can start rehabbing to walk. Let me tell you, hindsight, after all this, it'll feel like it went by like that. I know that's easier said than, obviously done type of thing. But once you get through the rehab part and you're back to walking, blah, 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 this will be just a short period of time in your life, man. So listen, you're stoked for you. Obviously, it's been working, whatever the surgery they had on your leg and stuff like that. Obviously, it's working. So 5 more weeks and you can start your rehab, man. Congratulations to you, sincerely.
More than
Glad to hear that.
200 structures and forcing 27,000 people to evacuate. That coming from officials in that area this Wednesday. The death toll includes a pilot who died after a helicopter crashed during efforts to contain wildfires in the southeastern town of that area, one of the area's hardest hit, and that was that live image I had shown you just moments ago. We are learning the aircraft had no other crew members. The National Fire Agency said at least 26 other people sustained varying degrees of injuries. An ancient Buddhist temple, houses, factories, and vehicles were among the structures destroyed in the wildfires that have burned 43,330 acres. The government's emergency
Holy
response center
shit.
confirming that information with the Associated Press.
Man, look at that destruction,
In a
yo.
televised address early this Wednesday, South Korea's acting president said the wildfires that began last Friday were causing worse damage than many other past.
Hey, man, you can't conquer the world by yourself ever. You know, you need special people around you. And obviously, Brother Red is right there. You know what I mean? Shit. Hey, W to brotherhood. You know what I mean? For real. Facts. Those pilots that fly helos and planes to fight fires have titanium balls. No kidding. That's something that I totally would not want to do. I would not want to be a part of that shit. I mean, maybe just to experience it one time or something, but not as like a job. There's no way. Mike, I haven't seen the GoFundMe for the party yet. Your party planner is slacking. No, it's actually me. I'm slacking. But I am definitely going to end up setting that up very soon. If you guys didn't know, a little side note. I have a lot of stuff kind of going on behind the scenes. I'm going to be performing here tomorrow. Our very first, me and my buddy Nick, we're doing our first set of gigs. We're playing at Gunnersville, which is about like an hour away from me. It's a humongous lake. It's a beautiful place. So we have a lot of our friends and family going and stuff like that. We're going to be playing there tomorrow. And then we have a slew of freaking shows that we're going to be doing. And then we're going to end off in April, I think April 4th or 5th, we're playing at the Hard Rock in the Hard Rock Cafe up in Nashville. So that'll be a fun time. So we have kind of a lot going on. And so my bad on the GoFundMe thing for the party. Obviously the party's in July, so we'll be all right. I promise.
Wildfires. And you can see at this time, as I switch back to the live image we are getting out in South Korea this morning, that those wildfires do still burn. Again, it did kick off last Friday, but on this Wednesday, they are still burning and still not 100% contained. We are learning crews are struggling to extinguish the wildfires because strong winds swept the areas overnight. We're learning about 4,000.
Yo, Brother Joker, my man, good to see you. Hopefully you're doing fantastic as well, man.
650 firefighters, soldiers, and other personnel are working to extinguish the wildfires with the help of about 130.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be plenty of recordings of it. Plenty. Yeah, especially with, family, friends coming. Yeah, they're definitely going to capture it. Yeah, appreciate it.
Observers in the area say the ongoing wildfires are the third biggest in South Korea in terms of land burned.
And that's not a bad idea, Hardwire. I can actually have my buddy Nick, who I'm performing with. I mean, he comes here all the time. He lives about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of me, but he makes the trip up here all the time. He was just here, not yesterday, but the day before. But yes, you know what I mean? We make shit happen. We can totally make something happen.
You really see how big these wildfires
Thank you, Jesse.
are burning
Appreciate
at this
that.
hour as the
Totally.
videographer and photographer there on the ground as he pans around just to show the devastation. Officials in several southeastern cities and towns have ordered residents to evacuate as firefighters continue to contain multiple blazes fueled by dry.
Shit, by the way, Carney is making a call out. He is saying, yo, you guys need to smash that like button. Because listen, we're not asking you guys to send in any cash or anything like that, any donations. We're making sure that the one thing I do ask is that you guys hit that like button, yo. I very much appreciate you guys. Look, Naomi gave us an update, 26 in the chat and 26 likes, man. That's a humongous W for the Breakfast Club, by the way. Thank you all for participating and helping out the show, man.
Dry winds. So this is a developing story. We will continue to follow the very latest.
And we're going to move ahead
now from Fox. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we're
going to move into the next breaking story. Now, this breaking story is, I think, some bullshit, to be honest. I really just quickly saw the headline. before we started the show, and I think it's some bogus shit. But if it is, we'll just kind of skip. Let's see.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox here at 522 on the East Coast. We continue to follow breaking news out of South Korea.
Oh, wow. Lee says, I want to give a big shout out to Steve Easy and his wife for purchasing a cutting board to help me with the mic ball bar top. Thank you, G. Wow, dude. Steve Easy, my man. Thank you so much for contributing in totally different ways. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you guys don't know, Lee Lance is actually making this incredible bar top, insane wheels bar top that's going to go in here. It's sick as fuck, but it costs a lot of money because of the epoxy and stuff like that. It's a very expensive process. So, brother Steve, I can't thank you enough for helping out in that regard and also getting something fucking badass because Lee knows how to create shit, you know, especially when it comes to like the woodwork stuff. Yeah.
Just devastating to share at this hour, learning at least 24 people have been killed.
Okay, so this is not the headline that I was thinking of. So I think it's right after this that there's another weird headline that is just whatever.
Associated Press. These wind-driven wildfires.
That's terrible.
Among South Korea's worst ever, ravaging the country's southern regions. Again, as I mentioned, killing at least 24 people, destroying more than 200 structures, and forcing 27,000 people to evacuate. Moments ago, off the top of our broadcast, we did share a live look out in that area, learning that
they had some serious devastation from this fire, dude.
Death toll included a pilot who died after a helicopter crashed during efforts to contain the wildfires. And we had a live look at that region. I can tell you all, they do still continue to burn.
That's freaking facts right there, Steve.
And they are not contained at this hour. So we will keep a close eye on this developing story. As we do so, I want to head back out to Geneva, Switzerland, as we are keeping a close eye on the United Nations.
No. Fuck the UN, yo. I don't care what the UN has to say at all. Looks like we're moving into communist Gaza. Let's go ahead and see what the hell they're talking about for this.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and good morning to you.
Definitely will.
Tuning in, I'm Gina Francine. Some of the live images we are getting on this Wednesday morning. This one takes us out to Hawaii as we're getting a live look at Kilauea volcano. Erupting,
oh wow!
And you can see how it's just flowing.
Hey, Hawaii always is popping off with their freaking volcanoes, man.
Down there in Hawaii. We're keeping a close eye on this as it relates to maybe evacuation orders in the area.
Look at that shit.
And other agenda items. Also keeping a close eye.
I wonder how far the camera is from this eruption. I mean, it looks like they're really far away, dude.
Out in Jerusalem, giving you a live look at the beautiful skyline there. Also,
okay, so not communist Gaza. We're going to Jerusalem.
Out in Gaza, as we are learning that
there's Gaza. There's the difference. You guys see the picture difference? And what's funny is this shit is actually nice over here in Gaza, except for the hospital that got airstriked right here on this window. This is exactly the window that they got the political wing of Hamas in, I believe, 2 days ago on Monday. Anyways,
Israel and Hamas, it does continue. You can see
Palestinians
in the area having a somewhat normal Wednesday as they are walking around, but also learning that there is
13. My bad. You're right. It is 420 somewhere, and it's 420 right here in my head.
The hospital and medical staff. If you look back in recent days, you can see that black ash on the side of the building to the left of your screen. That's from an Israeli strike, where they say they did strike the hospital, learning that a Hamas terrorist was inside seeking medical treatment. The conflict does continue.
Which he wasn't. I mean, I can guarantee it. I don't know that as a fact, but I can tell you that their antics are to use their own people as human meat shields. That is kind of the average.
On this Wednesday, also learning that the ceasefire is at a standstill. So hoping to get some comments and updates from the Israeli government on this Wednesday. It usually happens around 9:30 Eastern time, and if that happens, we'll make sure to share it with you. As we continue with top stories and live events, we want to head back out to a live event.
Thank you. I just did that, by the way, Naomi. So thank you for that.
United Nations Human Rights Council, they continue their debate and discussion. Let's listen in.
No, I don't care about this. You guys are on some bullshit. You guys are on some bullshit. More United Nations shit. All right. President Trump reveals details amid Signal chat controversy. And actually, within this controversy, I believe, what's his name? Waltz. He takes responsibility for whatever this Signal chat controversy thing is. Some Signal leak of some sort. I don't know what it means. I just saw the headlines this morning. Have no idea what the hell this Signal leak even is. So let's go ahead and kind of figure this out a little bit together. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. All right. We're backing it up a little bit. Dang. Come on, man. There we go. Come on.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and good morning to you if you're just now tuning in. I'm Gina Francine. We are 2 minutes shy from the top of the 6 o'clock hour here on the East Coast, and right now we want to transition to your top political headlines. Take a good look at your screen as we are following the very latest, learning that President Donald Trump revealed that a staffer with National Security Advisor Mike Waltz's office included the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic in a Signal group chat with senior Trump officials who were discussing plans for an upcoming strike on Houthi.
Oh, man. No way. They're using Signal to communicate this? They don't have their own, like, special way of talking to each other using Signal? Fuck. Then, well, no matter what, I mean, it's not like Signal told the issue. I think it just got leaked by either screenshots or so it wouldn't matter what platform they're on.
Senior Trump officials who were discussing plans for an upcoming strike on Houthi rebels in Yemen. The president added that Goldberg's inclusion in the group chat had, quote, no impact at all on the strike in Yemen. A lot to discuss and analyze this morning. So we want to bring into the conversation political analyst and historian Rich Rubino. Rich, good morning to you. Always a pleasure to have you on the show for your candor. Good morning to you.
Yo, what's up, Commander? By the way, just wanted to pause and say hello. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for stopping by.
On again.
So for those unfamiliar with what's happened in recent days and even hours, can you catch us up? How did we get to this point?
Well, basically, Jeffrey Goldberg, who's a journalist for The Atlantic magazine, was inadvertently included in a memo, in a group chat involving United States high government officials discussing what was going to happen in the attack in Yemen.
Wow.
He did not reveal when this happened. He didn't.
This is totally strange, by the way, Papa Penguin. Totally strange that it was allowed. Why would they even bring in some reporter? Why do we need a reporter in this? What are we doing?
Not reveal what he did not reveal what was going on, but he did reveal it afterward. And we saw essentially that there was a conversation basically using.
Wait, he accidentally did it or he purposely did it?
Emojis congratulating each other between Vice President J.D. Vance, John Ratcliffe, for example, Mike Waltz, members of the administration, basically interacting. And this was using the Signal app. And there are many that believe that this could have potentially mean that the Russians or the Chinese or any sort of non-state actor could very possibly have intercepted the communication and found out about the attacks beforehand.
Rich, on your screen right now, this is the very latest that we have from President Donald Trump on the Signal leak. It says, quote, the main thing was nothing happened. The attack was totally successful. Break that down for us in perspective of politics and how it relates to media and all of that.
It's a great question. I think that whether the attack was successful or not obviously depends on kind of who you ask. I think the Trump administration certainly says that it was. The Yemenis official were saying that there were a lot more people were killed, potentially civilians were killed. But I think that the
What's up, brother GEG? Good always to see you. Hopefully you're enjoying your Wednesday hump day morning.
administration. I think that they're really are. This is just really giving quite a backlash against them. Even some members of the Republican Party, Roger Wicker, the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, has suggested that there should be some sort of an investigation.
Yo, Dragon Classic, good morning to you. Sorry for interrupting, but I just got to say hi to my people.
It's just really, it's bad politics. Donald Trump would rather be talking about his economic plan, for example. He would rather be talking about how he believes the action in Yemen was successful. Instead, every question he's asked just about is basically Yemen related.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Trump administration. President Donald Trump's press secretary not wasting any time to respond. Caroline Leavitt.
Man, Caroline Leavitt is on top of her shit always.
X. She says, quote, Jeffrey Goldberg is well known for his sensationalist spin. Here are the facts about his latest story. She says, quote, 1, no war plans were discussed. 2, no classified material was sent to the thread. And 3, the White House counsel's office has provided guidance on a number of different agenda items. A lot of people are feeling this is a concern.
Well, I would argue a little bit here with Caroline Leavitt, and I love her. I think she's great. I think she's a great addition to the White House. But no classified material was sent to the thread. But if you understand our attack and what we're doing here, I would consider that shit classified material. Stuff that you're not supposed to have out in the public, right? I think it's pretty dumb, especially like we saw when during Biden that Israel's attack plans were being leaked and shit like that. And Israel was like, well, guess we're not going to tell you anything anymore. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously you guys can't keep your fucking mouth shut. So shit like this is a bad look. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to be straight up. I don't care how it happened. I don't, blah, 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 but it still is a bad look on our side. All right, back to this.
Relates to national security. Rich, your thoughts?
Yes, and I think that this is very interesting because you might remember during the presidential campaign in 2016, Hillary Clinton was the Democratic nominee, was excoriated for using a private server for her emails. I guess they were very much classified emails. This is very similar. This is why Hillary Clinton, for example, did an eye roll in terms of an emoji on her own personal on her personal Twitter X page rather. But they're very much eerie similitudes between the two, I think, and a lot of Democrats.
It is recklessness, by the way.
Kind of saying, see, we told you so. This happens from other administrations, but it is true that you can go back to, for example, Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, and there's always this kind of issue of where do you get how you kind of hide information so
how you
there's some sort of a non-state actor does not find out about it. What's going on?
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up Hillary Clinton, Rich, because a lot of people are making that comparison to when she used that home server as Secretary of State. Do you feel like it's a fair comparison?
Yeah, the mainstream media, I have not seen anything. You know how I say that I look at the headlines before we go live? I don't watch what they're saying. I just see the headlines. And so far, I have not seen any headlines regarding that specific executive order that was signed yesterday regarding voting. I think that's going to be brought up in the White House briefing, Mr. today. I think that's going to be brought up today. The mainstream media, are they going to talk about it? Probably not. But I know that the White House will probably end up spilling the beans on that.
Yeah, there are really eerie similitudes, I think, between the two. I think that Hillary Clinton, it was something that Donald Trump certainly used when he called her, for example, crooked Hillary Clinton during the 2016 presidential campaign. And Hillary would counter that other secretaries of state have done some stuff that is very similar.
Well, this is exactly why you see the way that I handle these situations. I don't care if it's for my party or against my party personally. That's not what I'm even here to do. That's not even my worldview in the first place, where it's only this. Now, I have actually done a couple of videos on Trump where I was like, I disagree with what he's doing here, blah, blah, blah. But there are people that are bandwagoners and totally, have a little bit of, the opposite of deranged syndrome. Trump deranged syndrome. It's like the opposite, where it's like, well, he can't do fucking anything wrong. He's God, blah, 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 which he's not. What this whole idea is to keep everything and everyone accountable. That's what the media, the mainstream media, was even invented for. News media, stuff like that. It was created to keep people in power and high positions accountable. Now, what ended up happening with the mainstream media? Those high elite people ended up fucking buying, the mainstream media essentially. And where did all that money come from? Well, a certain star state, you know what I mean? And it's owned ultimately by all them. Anyways, yes, I ultimately agree with what you're saying here, Steve, because I'm not a bandwagoner either. I have morals, ethics, and codes that I go by, and I can definitely tell when if something is done and I don't believe it to be true. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, because he said it. No, I have my own mind, my own way of thinking, Anyways, back to this.
But from a public relations standpoint, it's a complete disaster for Hillary Clinton. She could not really recover from that. There were other factors too for why she lost. One thing being not visiting Wisconsin, for example, the critical swing state, but that was something she never really could recover from. And now it's kind of a tat for tat, I guess. And you're seeing kind of a very similar argument that
that's a W for chat, homie. Absolutely. 32 likes and 30 watching. Humongous W for the Breakfast Club, man. By the way, Mr. Boulay up in here saying happy hump day, folks. Absolutely. It is hump day. Working and lurking. These memos don't write themselves. That is a fact. We got Alabama's finest up in the building. Thanks for lurking and chilling with us while you're working, my man. Hopefully all is well.
Democrats are making in terms of saying that, if you went after Hillary Clinton for this, why are you doing this? So it's an absolute public relations nightmare, if you will, for the Trump administration.
Lil shit.
Well, that's the perfect segue to this next quote. You talk about Democrats. If we look across the aisle in that response, Mark Warner saying, quote, when the stakes are this high, incompetence is not an option. He goes on to say Pete Hegseth should resign. Mike Waltz should resign. Rich, as we are having Democratic senators calling for these resignations, what do you think it's doing for that unification that President Donald Trump has called for since he has become president?
I think that it's really unified the Democratic Party, for the most conservative, most liberal member. They really want to be there in investigation. They want there to be answers. So when you're talking about there, Mark Warner, he's currently the chairman of the United States Senate Committee on Intelligence. I think that from a practical standpoint, obviously, Peter Hegseth probably is not going to resign. Mike Waltz, I guess.
Yep. And that's that. I think ultimately, live streamers have kind of taken over the whole mainstream media thing because it's an independent thing. We're not paid to say something. We do things because it's actually who or what we think. It's not a bot for situation. Now, yes, you guys do donate and you guys do those things, but that's like, to me, that's a tip. I was already doing that and you're helping to contribute to that. You know what I mean? You guys feel like you got value out of that. It's different when the money is given to you before you've even done the work and they go, you're going to say this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I am independent and I'm very proud of that. We got Brother Slim. Excuse me. This little left-handed tobacco got me earlier. We got Brother Slim gifting out one freaking membership, by the way. Hey, over here at the Breakfast Club, man, it's very much appreciated, man. Because listen, not only are you helping me, but you're helping out someone in the freaking Breakfast Club, man. Always appreciate you. And if you guys ever get gifted memberships, by the way, little announcement. If you guys get a gifted membership, make sure you guys thank the people that gifted you a membership because they're spending money, man. So, and you guys benefit from that. So, Brother Slim, I very much appreciate
theoretically
that.
Would probably only resign if Donald Trump were to ask him to do it. But Donald Trump obviously has given him just about his full-throated 110% endorsement so far. But this is something that's really unifying the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, I think, is basically going to use this as kind of a casus belli. And I think certainly in the 2026 midterm elections, that's something that they're going to make Republicans on the spot. I think Republicans, as they go to town hall meetings, are going to be asked about this. And the question is, are they going to defend the Trump administration, or are they going to do what, for example, someone like Don Bacon from Nebraska, who represents a district that last time went for Kamala Harris, did, which is essentially to excoriate the administration and say that it was incompetent.
Damn. Shit.
Rich, on this Wednesday morning, a lot of the viewers wanting to know what happens next for those Americans that are concerned about national security. What can you share with them?
That's a great question. I
That is a great question, actually, Jeannie.
don't know. I think that they probably will no longer use the Signal app. They probably would have to use.
Yeah, but the problem is it wasn't the application's fault. The company itself, Signal, didn't leak anything. That was human error. That's human error. So why are we saying, oh, we're not going to use this application anymore? You know what I mean? I don't think that is, I think this came down to a human error aspect. I think this is negligence. I think that it all boils down to accountability, right? You have to have, but there's no accountability that be had with Signal, for instance, right? Fair is fair.
More secure informations. Obviously, I think they were very reckless with it, and it certainly was an embarrassment for the Trump administration. It's something that probably will get. They probably will certainly get over, but it's something that I think Democrats will continue to harangue them about. For basically being reckless and being reckless. And obviously, this is not what the Trump administration wants to be in the headlines. They would much rather be in the headlines.
Course.
Their economic plan, what they believe is a successful foreign policy, and certainly not this.
Political analyst and historian Rich Rubino, always a thorough and detailed breakdown. Thank you so much for your dialogue and expertise on this topic.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on ahead, by the way. Mike Waltz speaks to FNC in response to Signal group chat accusations. So, real quick, this is a big story, so obviously people are going to be wanting to get this story a bit. So we'll go ahead and hear what he's got to say in the beginning here. I didn't realize it was the next story.
People, no. Look, this is a great group. The president has a great team. This is not first term.
No, your team. I'm not talking about the other.
Was this morning?
No.
It doesn't show if this was live. I don't think. See, it says courtesy of the Ingram Angle Fox News channel. So it was on Ingram Angle, right? So I don't know if that was today or last night. It had to have been today, right?
No, these were principals and a couple of staff that were coordinating, as you saw, having a policy discussion as we went forward, and then just in the days before.
And Jesse, you know what's funny is I actually thought that they had their own communication system, but I didn't want to assume either. I think I assumed that they have secure communications, but I didn't want to voice that out onto something when I didn't know it for 100% fact. But that makes sense. That totally makes sense, Jesse. Let's see. We got Steve Easy saying, I wish these politicians would learn to shut the fuck up, take their lumps instead of trying to justify stupid behavior. I got to agree. I got to motherfucking agree, dude. Yeah, Fox News. Her show is at night. Got you. Okay, so it was last night or early in the morning or something like that. But I think that who knows, with special occasions like this, they may have gone live at 2 a.m. I don't know, but just saying. All right, back to this. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
For what was an incredible strike. Not only did we take out people that the Biden team never could, that we took out headquarters, missile caches, and actually one of the leaders of the Houthi organization. We've since taken out several since. And, that's what they don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the success here. They don't want to talk about the hostages getting released. They don't want to talk about the Black Sea ceasefire that we just put in place today as the president ends the largest land war in Europe, or the border, or the fact that Panama just kicked China out of the canal, and success after success after success. So they want to focus on this. It's embarrassing, yes. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's embarrassing that no one's going, you know what? See, if I'm going to be real, if I did some shit like this, I'm going to be very honest. I think that I would just come out and say, yeah, that was my bad. I accidentally hit this button and it brought homeboy in. That was my fault. You know what I mean? Where's the accountability? Because that's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, no, that was me. I did that. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry that shit will never happen again. And that was totally my fault. I don't know why people can't in politics take accountability like that. Steve says everyone knows people or know people are always going to focus on the negative. It's just human behavior 101. And that's sadly a fact. What leads in the media. Anytime there's good things happen, people are fucking handing out food and helping out hundreds of thousands of families and shit like that. Nah, no one gives a shit. You know, that's just the truth. It sucks. Papa Penguin says it is against regulation and the law for them to use Signal. Did not know that, by the way. Thank you for letting me know. There are very specific ways they are supposed to have these types of conversations. It wasn't an accident. They were using Signal. Understood. Did not know that. And obviously, I say that anytime something like this happens, I think people should be held accountable for their actions, no matter who it is on what side. You know what I mean? Because we can't say that you guys can't do this, meanwhile we're doing it type thing. We don't stand that way. At least us down here at the bottom, you know, which is me, some just commentator, right? Some political analyst. To these guys, I'm a nobody. Anyways, back to this.
Of it, I just talked to Elon on the way here. We've got the best technical
That
minds
makes sense.
looking at
Makes
how
sense,
this happened.
Papa.
But I can tell
Again, I don't like to assume things and speak on something when I don't know the full fact. You know, I have a good guess on a lot of things, but I also don't want to make a fact claim without me knowing the fact, right? So thank you.
I can tell you
that.
for 100%. I don't know this guy. I know him by his horrible reputation, and he really is the bottom scum of journalists. And I know him in the sense that he hates the president, but I don't text him. He wasn't on my phone, and we're going to figure out how this happened.
So you don't know what staffer is responsible for this right now?
Well, look, a staffer wasn't responsible, and look, I take full responsibility. I built the.
Wait, whoa! He's about to. Well, let's see how he takes full responsibility and doesn't take responsibility at all. Let's see how this happens. We got Tats up in here, by the way, over there across the pond, across the freaking pond over there in the UK. Always appreciate you, as well as Kitty. Just so you know, Kitty is also over there across the pond, so we thank her for hanging out with us as well. And yeah, Wicked Smart. Yeah, that's true. You forgot next to the smart, after you say wicked smart like that, I have to see a clover. Like I immediately think Boston. You know what I mean?
The group my job is to make sure
Boston.
Everything's coordinated.
But how did the number?
execute.
I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name, and then you have somebody else's number there?
I never make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now, whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
So a staffer did not put his contact information. But how did it end up in your phone?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure.
I think this is an alibi. I think, you know, I think that there's a half truth here being spoken.
You're out.
Okay. But that's a pretty big problem.
That is what we've got the best technical minds, right?
That's disturbing.
And that's where, I mean, I'm sure everybody out there
is it compatible with MySpace? Okay, think of WhatsApp. WhatsApp, you've got like branches that kind of broke off from that to be end-to-end encryption, which is Signal. Signal is a great app for that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's still end-to-end encryption. I have no idea. I know WhatsApp is not, right? I think so, since it's been bought by Mark Zuckerberg, right? Anyways, back to this.
Had a contact where it was said one person and then a different phone number.
But you've never talked
What's
to
up,
him
trigger
before,
warning?
So how's the number on your phone? I mean, I'm not an expert in any of this, but it's just curious. How's the number on your phone?
Well, if you have somebody else's contact and then then somehow
Surprising, Jesse. That doesn't even surprise me.
Someone sent you that
it gets
contact.
sucked in.
Was there someone else supposed to be on the chat that wasn't on the chat that you thought was?
So
on
the person that I thought was on there was never on there. It was this
who
guy.
was that? What person?
Well, I'm not. Look, Laura, I take.
I really think that's cap, homeboy.
Stop the cap.
Just tell the truth so that you don't ever have to worry about it again. You know what I mean? Like, you just say it and then it's boom, it's done. Just take your lumps, get it over with, and then guess what? It's not going to be brought up, or maybe it will be, but not as bad as if you were to give a half truth.
I take responsibility. I built the group.
Okay.
So but look, that's the part that we have to figure out. And that's the part that embarrassing, yes. But Pete and I are veterans. We know these operations. He has been an excellent Secretary of Defense. And this was an operation that...
Right. I get the sentiment there, Papa Penguin. Makes total sense. The reason you're supposed to use secure devices is to prevent things like contacts being incorrect. A secure device wouldn't have a reporter as a contact, period. It just wouldn't be in that device. And you're right about that, Papa Penguin. Thank you for all the immense knowledge today on this. Couldn't really do this story without you. You know what I mean? For real. I love that you have the knowledge behind this.
I mean, it amazes me. I guess the Democrats
What's up, David?
fine
Good morning.
to leave all the sea lanes shut down. We're fine to have destroyers fired on dozens of times by this terrorist group, and fine to have Iran.
Whoa, hold on. Shit, my bad. Real quick, we got Tats gifting out a membership, by the way. Super sorry I didn't see that immediately. Happens once in a while. But Tats, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Listen, if you guys got a freaking gifted membership, make sure you guys thank the people that gifted them, because they're not free. They're not free. You know what I mean? Listen, not only does it help me, but it helps someone in the Breakfast Club. So thank you so much, Tats. I very much appreciate that.
Missiles, that was okay. The president takes decisive action. And now we're seeing some real success in taking down their air defenses, opening the sea lanes, taking out their leadership. We don't want to talk about that.
Exactly, Jesse.
Now, the Atlantic told us in part that attempts to disparage and discredit us and our reporting follow an obvious playbook by elected officials and others in power who are hostile to journalists and First Amendment rights of all Americans.
Shit, that does suck, SNS. But hey, good morning to you. Happy Hump Day. Good to see you, kind sir.
They're saying don't blame the messenger. Your response to them?
Lied about Russia, lied about Gold Star families, lied about even as last, year in terms of the president paying for the family of a Gold Star family that he...
Yes, and thank you for doing that, Steve. The immense knowledge that comes out of Papa Penguin is actually incredible. And his channel, he's recently started uploading videos. You know what I mean? So you guys definitely got to go check that out. And Steve, boom, there it is. He put it up there. Go subscribe to our man, Papa Penguin, man. He's a fantastic dude. He's like a brother to me, man. He's a solid motherfucker. And he's super knowledgeable, dude. So make sure you guys go over there and check out what he's got going on over there, for real. And Brother Dwayne, by the way, good morning to you. Hopefully you're doing fantastic as well.
Absolutely
on this hump day morning.
Lie after lie after lie.
Have they ever apologized for any of that?
No. I mean, this is... Do we care about the mainstream media? Do we care about the Atlantic? What I care about is staying focused on mission, accomplishing the president's agenda, getting these things done, cleaning up the Biden messes.
I feel the exact same way, Papa. I failed everything in high school. Why would anybody listen to me? You know what I mean? I ain't an intellectual either, you know, just a world's most see, I can't, reducted. See, look, see how illiterate I was right there? Did you see how I didn't immediately just read that? Yeah, I should have been able to do that. Well, point proven. You know what I mean? Shit. All right, back to this.
From Afghanistan to Ukraine to the Houthis to the border to China all over South America to the Arctic where we're completely exposed to NATO that's not paying up. And the president has had success after success, he's got a fantastic national security team.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just stunning how many people on the team have his 100% trust, and there have been enormous successes early on in this administration, but you all are rattling the old cages of the establishment, defense, and national security, embedded people who are still working in government, a lot of great people.
You know, I think that would be a great skit for me and the channel. I think that would be a great skit to do. Steve, you know what? I may just do that. Dude. Mike Waltz is a rhino and a snake. Shit, David.
But the concern is that somebody got involved here who didn't want the president to be successful. And a lot of us are very concerned about that someone is in this orbit who doesn't want this president of the United States to be a raging success and turn our foreign policy into an America first approach.
Look, we made a mistake. We're moving forward, and we're going to continue to knock it out of the park for this president. Look at what he's gotten done in under 2 months. And I didn't even get going on the economy, on trade, or all of those other pieces.
April 2nd's coming.
Yeah.
The DNI,
Liberation Day.
The DNI was very adamant today and very clear that there was no classified information in this.
No classified information? You mean how we're going to attack the Houthis is not classified information?
Stop the cap.
Bruh.
Stupid.
How can you say that shit is not classified information? I mean, let's just be real. Like, why do we have to say that? Because to me, maybe as a citizen, yeah, I understand that there's different fucking levels to this shit, but I would consider that a total breach of security, which to me, the way that you're attacking another country, that, I'm sorry, to me is classified information. So why are we capping?
Stop the cap.
In this text chat. And the Democrats, of course, are predictably, they're going to jump on this. But should Goldberg just release the other information that he has? Because he's standing on this, well, I'm not going to release this information because I have my standards and journalistic standards. Okay, but it's not classified information. So does it matter? Would you care if the rest of this information came out?
Look, I mean, I would prefer, certainly as the president was saying today, if we could all sit in a steel-lined lead room and have all of these conversations. I certainly want our deliberations to stay confidential. This was an encrypted app that the CIA had on sitting there as John Ratcliffe was confirmed and walked into the building from the prior administration. It's on other agency apps. And so, no, of course I don't want it all out there. Because these were conversations back.
You don't want it all out there? Yeah, because motherfucker, it was classified. You know what I mean? Like that's some shit that maybe wasn't labeled by the federal government classified information. Maybe he's actually catering to the definition of the word. Maybe he's going, well, it's not classified information because the federal government didn't say it was. We didn't lock it down into a classified file, so you know. But I definitely do see this as a lame move. I think this is total negligence. The Republicans piss, moan, and cry as much as the Dems. And you know what? I hate that shit. Because aren't we the party and the side that does not fucking bitch, moan, and complain? I thought that's who we were, you know? So it's a little bit of a letdown there for damn sure. Because it's not how I operate anyways. We got Frederick Frame up in here. Good morning to you as well, man. Always good to see my man. And real quick, Beezer says, I passed everything in high school, passed right by it, partied and got a job. Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yes, sir. You know, I actually attended high school. Never really skipped high school. That wasn't my thing. I just didn't do any of the work. I would just hang out with everybody. Anyways, back to this. See,
back and forth that you should be able to have confidentially. But what you also saw was a healthy policy debate in how we were going to achieve this for the president, what would be the results, what should be the timeline. And I think, again, I am fortunate to work for this president. I am fortunate to help him execute this vision and incredibly fortunate to have this team around him.
But there's no classified information in this exchange.
No classified information.
But you'd prefer it not to be
out. Of course. That'd be, do you want everything?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he is actually catering to the whole idea that this shit was not classified by the federal government before he talked about it. So he can actually say that. But I don't know, man. To me, that shit is fucking classified talk. Anyways, back to this.
No, well,
Right.
I don't work for the government. I mean,
Yeah.
this is why these.
Right.
That's why texting in general
Trigger warning.
in government situations.
Again,
is
as the
difficult.
president
I think
said,
he
if
was
we could
right
all
today.
stay in the same
Yeah.
room, but when we've
But
got
he's always been
people
like that.
moving,
Yeah.
right? As he said again today, I mean, that would be his preference.
Yeah.
I think all of our preference. But when he has people all over the world and we're coordinating these complex operations,
And
we're moving at Trump speed,
Fast.
fast, doing all of this. We're cleaning up.
Oh, shit. All I have to say about that, Steve Easy, is Good on you, cuh. All right, back to this.
I mean, we're doing 5 or 6 legacy-defining things in the first month, and we're cleaning up multiple Biden messes from the Middle East to Europe to the mess of our border all at once at the same time.
You don't need any distractions. You don't need any side stories or distractions.
Yep.
And I think people are watching this. Most Americans don't. They want the answers, the bottom line.
Yep.
You know, about Russia, about Ukraine, about China. But they read stuff like, oh, wait, there was a 2023 DOD memo that said you shouldn't use Signal. And yet you hear Ratcliffe today saying, well, it was commonly used. So doesn't there need to be a standard across the board?
Absolutely.
Just don't use any of these apps. But then how do you communicate when you're not in a skiff?
Well, and that's what you heard. That's what you heard Elon talking about, kind of the mess that is.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. This is gone. This is a little rough. It's like if you just say, listen, man, this was my fault. Won't happen again, blah, blah, blah. In the way that he even said, like, well, no, I wouldn't want everything to be shown. Well, that's not, like, that was a rough question by Laura Ingraham. I mean, for him, you know, that was a good on her for asking the question, by the way. That's what true reporting would do. It's not supposed to matter which side you're on, but it low key does. But I'm glad that she actually asked the question.
Government communications. I could tell you a member,
and I don't like that
I've
broad.
been very frustrated about.
Let me make that very clear. I don't like Laura Ingraham. I think she's a fucking bitch. But that's a personal thing. You know what I mean? I'm just glad as a reporter professionally she asked the question.
The quality of our communications, we are working to address that. So one of the things that DOJ is doing is improving our IT, is improving our ability to communicate. And to the extent we get everybody in the same room, always better.
Yeah, it's always better. But you've never met Goldberg. He's out there saying you guys have met in the past, but you've never met him.
No idea. Wouldn't know him if I.
And see, you know, and that's the really shitty thing, Steve, that is fairly true. You know what I mean? There's only a handful of good guys in there. They do happen to belong on a certain side. And meanwhile, one other side doesn't have a single good person. Now, this is one thing that I really want to change politically. I mean, as you guys know, I'm running for the House, Alabama House 2026, which is next year. And if that I get elected to do so, I would hope that I would never be this. You know what I mean? I really want to change that. And I want to be able to speak for Alabamians for real. Not some bullshit. Like I really actually, like I want their voices to be heard. And that would be my job at the House, right? So nonetheless, it sucks that is damn near 100% true. But I want to change that narrative.
Bumped into him if I saw him in a police lineup. Do now. Knew him by reputation about lying about the president over and over again. What I can tell you for certain, certainly wasn't reaching out or talking to him at all. Why would I?
Yeah, well, he's been one of the most vociferous, vituperative so-called journalists out there in the Atlantic.
Well, near and dear to my heart as a veteran is lying about Gold Star families who love this president, veterans.
Man, what a perfect script to just fill in the blank of what you did. And I am going to do X to prevent this from ever occurring again. Problem solved. Yeah, you're not even joking, Pablo. Like that would, if he would have just done this right here and just filled in the blank where he needed to, where you left the blanks there, I think it would have been like a 5-minute segment. But now we're into like a 15, 20-minute long interview of him coping and him trying to kind of get out of this shit, which is very unfortunate, man. I really wish motherfuckers would just take accountability for their shit, and especially when it comes to politicians, you know, because you're elected, you're put there for a reason, and you're letting your people down. That's not a good thing.
We love this president and are thanking God he's president and commander in chief once again. And then you have a defense secretary.
Hell yeah, brother Red. I appreciate that. Yeah, my man.
This morning I was talking to is working out with the Navy SEALs out in Honolulu, leading improving morale, improving recruiting, improving lethality, and working with DOJ to improve efficiency and get our warfighters back to meritocracy mission focus. I mean, again, Laura, this team believes in this president. This team likes each other, knows each other, is working. Was there a mistake? Absolutely. We're going to improve it. We're going to fix it. And we're going to move forward to achieve the president's agenda.
Why was Besant on this text chain?
Yo, chatting with Stacks. We got Stacks, the man, up in here. Hopefully you're doing fantastic and swell on your, hump day morning out here. We definitely are over here. Hopefully all is well. Good to see my man.
I was curious about that. There's just like little things like, why would Scott Besant?
Because you have a sanctions regime. This is, again, right? You had Biden just literally, they would swarm our destroyers with drones, cruise missiles, UAVs. At first, he would allow them to just shoot them down, then pinprick attack, then 4 months would go by, shut down shipping. 75% of global commerce is getting rerouted. The world owes the president a favor, or excuse me, a thank you for taking this on and fixing this problem. And that is...
Can someone make this stop? For real, bro?
Emotional damage.
I'm starting to get emotional damage.
Oh, shit.
Up their money, dry up their supply chain from Iran, hold Iran accountable, go after the missiles, go after the leadership. If you're going to move against a terrorist group, you take them out. And that's exactly...
Bro, what are we doing out here?
Stupid.
What are you doing? This motherfucker being reckless as fuck right now.
What this team was doing.
I was actually relieved to see the nature of the exchange among you. I mean, it's kind of cool for regular people just to see, okay, how do these decisions get made with the president and the, obviously Miller is representing the president.
The last thing we need is our fucking politicians talking about Iran. They're fucking irrelevant to us. Why are we need to not take the fucking bait of Iran, okay? Let me make this clear. We need to stay our fucking asses out of the Middle East. Does everyone hear me? The United States needs to stay out of the fucking Middle East. Listen, if Israel wants to get rid of Iran, allow Israel to do it. Who gives a shit? But it doesn't need to be us. We don't need to be pushing it. We don't need to say anything. We don't need to fucking fund it. We don't need to do shit. We need to take care of our own fucking people. Why are we so focused on the Middle East? We need to focus on us right now, cocksucker. This dude, speaking of, that's what I'm saying. Why would you speak like that? This is what's so dangerous about the nomenclature that is used by politicians, because they're the ones that end up riling up everybody else to, we keep hearing bullshit on Iran. Well, fuck them, and here we go. Well, let's go ahead and go get them. Well, no, motherfucker. No, we should not. No, we should not. Anyways, back to this. Sorry for the rant.
But I actually thought it was really refreshing to see how you all seem to have mutual respect. No one's like blowing off another person's opinion. And none of us know anything about how decisions were made in the Biden administration. Nothing.
Well,
or if he was even
or
there.
Who was deciding, not how decisions were made, who was actually deciding, because clearly it wasn't him. But you see this healthy back and forth, this respectful back and forth, different points of view. But at the end of the day, we're executing the president's vision, the president's direction, keeping it all coordinating and moving at Trump warp speed to do it all at once. I mean, not only have the media been on their back foot and the Democrats been on their back foot, all of our adversaries are on their back foot in terms of how to respond to him and the pace with which he moves.
Are we going to end this Ukraine war soon?
We just had the next step today. We've had an energy aerial ceasefire. We just defined what those...
Let me go ahead.
Stupid.
Let me do it one more time.
Stupid.
I had to bring up the volume.
Targets that are now off limits on both sides are to de-escalate that. Now we're going to the Black Sea. The president's determined to end the war. And even, Laura, I mean, you have the NATO Secretary General, NATO, looking at the president in the Oval Office saying, you broke the logjam. Just months ago, no one was talking. Now we're going from, if this war will ever...
Yo, what's up, brother Hank? Good morning to you and happy hump day.
...end an endless war of people, treasure, and material to now how it will end. And of course, the people that were in the endless war camp are going to criticize how this president is going to end it, but he is going to drive it to an end, and it's an honor to be part of it.
And lessons learned. Lessons learned after the.
Well,
Yeah, say yes. There's lessons learned. Don't go, well, actually. No, I take full accountability and blah, blah, blah. What do you mean, well? ... What do you mean, well? No, motherfucker. Yeah, I learned my lesson.
it's an honor to be part of it.
And lessons learned. Lessons learned after the.
Well,
app. We're not using Signal app anymore.
Yeah, right. Lesson learned number one is you've got journalists out there who have made.
So we're gonna go ahead and blame. We're gonna shift blame. Now it's the journalist's fault. It's a journalist's fault because he's a scumbag that wants our information. It's these guys that change their names and do this shit to be conniving. What piece of shit fucking reporters, man. It's really their fault. Even though I take full accountability, everybody. But really, it's the reporter's fault. It is, yeah, absolutely. It's his fault. Stop the fucking cap, yo.
Stop the cap.
Unreal.
Fame and fortune trying to trash this.
Fame
president.
and fortune? Oh my God.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Stupid.
I'm going to lose it. There's no way this dude is this much of a fucking moron.
And so, look, we've got to tighten up. We are tightening up, and we have some of the best technology minds looking at how this happened.
Well, it's happened to the best of us, but you know, he's President Trump just needs no distractions. He needs to, you know, pedal to the metal.
100%.
He's
And
right.
Laura, it's the honor of a lifetime to work for him.
Well, I really appreciate your coming in. There's a kind of a confusing set of facts, and thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely.
Well, now I totally have a different opinion about Mike Waltz now. Yeah, what day is it? It is freaking hump day, bro.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Get down with your silly self. You know what I mean? Shit. Yep. See, exactly, Steve. He knows the deal. Everyone knows the deal here. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be busy. The classic move. Man, this shit is fucking wild. What do you guys think of this shit so far? Honestly, this shit is a little wild. I'm a little upset actually. I mean, it's odd nowadays for a journalist to report on actual news. Yeah, that is true, dude. And something that I'm trying to also bring back. No Capca
Stop the cap.
knows the deal right there. Yeah, and that is true, by the way, Mr. Absolutely. Mike, here's my advice, homie. After the show, have a couple of drinks, smoke a few and few more, and drink more. Yeah, I'm going to. Today,
Oh shit. Oh shit.
definitely going to do that. Going to take that advice. Listen, we've even got a show tonight at 7 p.m. And you know why I can't get completely hammered like that? I can't like get down with my bad self after this is because I do have to rehearse the set for tomorrow, as well as I got the show tonight on YouTube, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We got the Diamond Effect, so can't get too fucking crazy beforehand. But after the Diamond Effect, it's going down. It's going down like a motherfucking train. Mike's on a roll today. Freaking love it. This show hype. Hey, yes, sir, man.
Oh shit.
We keep it fucking real around these parts. We were just saying earlier that, hey, we're not no fucking bandwagoners over here. And look, yeah, Mike Waltz is on my party line. Absolutely, he is. But he's fucking up. And so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold him accountable. End of story, right? Shit. W for real news reporting, by the way. That's right, the real news. Not Fox News, but real news. I like that, man. A lot of bullshit. So real quick before we get out of here, what we're going to do is we spent a lot of time on this story. There's a lot of news going on, but the one thing that I did want to bring up here is our upcoming events of the morning. Okay, so we had, this is already passed, but I want you guys to at least know that these things just happened today. We have a few more things that a list just like this of upcoming events that I'll also provide for you guys before we leave. So 9 a.m. Eastern time, Maryland governor marks 1 year since Baltimore Bridge collapse. I'm not really sure of what is going on. I actually didn't know that there was a Baltimore Bridge collapse last year. I didn't know that. 9:30 Eastern, NTSB chair to testify at oversight hearing on aviation safety, which is planes, or just being up in the sky, right? 10 a.m. Eastern, as well as national intelligence directors testify on worldwide threats, which was actually a huge story going on right now as we speak. This is the Baltimore Bridge collapse. Okay. Now I do know of what they're talking about. My bad. I actually did know about this. They're just showing off what happened last year. Okay. I'm glad that we did that. So upcoming events. Let's see here. We've got another mass shooting in Mexico. New Mexico, I mean, and they do have the story on that. We're not going to go ahead and run that story right this second. We will probably report on that tomorrow. Just depending on how the news is coming out and if there's more information on it. We're trying to consolidate this morning. Looking for the next schedule here. Was there a breaking news? No, there wasn't. See, I'm doing my due diligence here to make sure you guys get the headlines, understand what's happening today as much as I possibly can. 6 people died when a cargo ship struck the bridge last year, by the way, and the city plans for a $1.7 billion replacement bridge to be built by 2028. Interesting that they have those that ready to go. And then here's the intelligence directors testifying on global threats. This is a huge hearing. So unfortunately, what I was waiting for in this whole thing is the White House hearing. And unfortunately, it looks like that we do not have any. No, we don't. I'm going all the way to the end here. Nothing. Okay. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the White House briefing like that is in the title, as well as Vance was supposed to speak to the Marines. I told you guys at the top of the hour today that there's a couple of these things that we may not be able to get to, meaning the White House briefing and Trump delivering his remarks. I just knew that these were going to happen today. Not exactly what time. I'm not sure what time. It actually didn't show on any of the, their scheduling here. So real quick, the Signal chat leak. The Atlantic published new details in the war plan group chat saga. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and NSA Mike Waltz have faced calls to resign, and then President Trump administration blast the Atlantic and author of the story. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does consolidate us. Unfortunately, I try to get you guys as much information as possible, but unfortunately, we don't have all of the information. I'm sure we will later on today and most likely tomorrow, right? But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for being here. I can't do this shit without you guys. I have to thank you guys because, listen, you guys could have been anywhere else in the world to be, but you guys decided to be right here with me, man. So I'm very appreciative. Make sure you guys hit my Instagram up at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of the show, my lifestyle, freaking millennial food time. We get crazy over there. Make sure you guys check that out, as well as Naomi has been periodically, wrong nomenclature, periodically, see, illiterate fuck. She's been putting the Discord link. So look, I suffered just now to be able to say that. So make sure you guys hit that Discord link, man. Make sure you guys go over there and hang out with us. And because most of us, the majority of us in the Breakfast Club are now in there, and we continue the conversation in there. We have great chat rooms. We have all sorts of places to put your motorcycles. If you guys are, bike riders, meaning you guys ride some motorcycles. We have all sorts of shit. We have IRL pictures. We have food. We have all great kind of shit over there. So it's great conversation, and make sure we stay in the same spot and all of that. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough. Stick around we're going to be raiding Carney's ride over there. Make sure you guys go ahead and show him a little love. Give him a like and a subscribe over there. And until tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back tonight for the Diamond Effect, man. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning for more of the world's madness. Until then, God bless, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you to everyone.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning.